Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we're here taking a look at Jennie'S 2025 MMA performance rehearsal. I've had a lot of you guys ask me to look at this on the YouTube side, so we will definitely be here looking at it. I have not seen any of the tracks that I believe are a part of this performance in their entity by themselves, so that's kind of cool because normally I see one or two. And the last thing that I checked in with Jennie on was Mantra, so I'm very intrigued by this. It looks like she has a ton of dancers, and I'm a sucker for a mega crew format, so we're gonna take a look. If you guys want me to look at the broadcast version, I can do that, but that will most likely be barred to Patreon. Just quite simply, it will not pass for YouTube based on my format that I look at these. We're here to take a look at the dance, have a good time, good vibes. I'm ready. I hope you are. Let's watch. Goodness. I see why you guys asked me to look at it. And there's low-key a charm to looking at a performance when I don't know what the original songs actually look like. And yes, I know some of you are surprised, like, Jess, you haven't seen, Jennie? No, I haven't. I'm sorry. But I think it's okay that I haven't, because I have a Marathon Blackpink, so they're not considered a marathon upkeep group on my end. But I have checked in on Jennie a couple times whenever it was a Patreon request, or it was, there were American backup dancers in the space, and I wanted to, say, hey, and give them a shout out. This was really fun because I'm probably not the only one that watched this and saw these tracks, or there's a chance somebody saw Jennie for the first time. Regardless of how popular she is in certain spaces, there's gonna be people who encounter artists for the first time. This is the closest thing I can get to that, which I think is really cool. So the fact is, it's really impressive without a single, without a single platform lift in it. Do you know what I mean? And that's really cool. So I bet you, yeah, they're gonna have platform usage. Most likely right here is probably a platform usage. When she's on the table, that one's probably platform usage. There's probably only one section that has a sense of a plateau and lull on density. But that is out of an 8-minute and 44-second routine, only 30 seconds feels that way. Psh, on a dance practice, that's impressive, guys. So I may check out the broadcast version just later on, but wow, so fun. I really like the weaving through. You would be so surprised how many people can struggle to weave through each other like that. Getting the timing right for that. So they did great. It's a nice little start. Pretty safe to say Wooden Boys was in charge of the performance direction on it. So I loved the mess out of how this sounded. I love a good synthy auto-tune. It's right up my alley of preference of music. So I like the arrangement, and it just intrigues me immensely on what this looks like live, which is cool. Marketing well done. So I love the speed changes and the exploration, how she's enclosed here. And I don't know if they're all lifted. I'm going to assume no, because they're all moving through the platform tape. That's what all that is. And you'll see the little markings. And near the end, that's a turning platform. So there's a good chance all that unison that we saw there, that we're going to be dealing with platforms, which would probably be the one thing that I would assume that is happening in the other space. This also, too, is a definition of dancers taking responsibility for maintaining the projection and the digestion and the captivation of a routine or a set. This would look so different if the dancers weren't there. Obviously, she is able to do what she can do, and she's able. She moves about as much as a regular artist at the MMA's dances. So I personally don't think it looks like she's dancing lazily or dancing muted. It looks modified. And I think that's what it should be. If you are a singing artist and she has all these dancers, they're there to help saturate and project in the space on her behalf. That's why you have them, right? So I'm here for it. The arms are really cool. The arms up. Sorry, I know that sounded like, wow, look at the arms. I like the fact that we have the level established, is my point. I like the reaches, most likely maybe wordplay. I like the tap, 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 syncopated. Most likely these songs are remixed. It's really what it sounds like. Not a single one really sounded familiar except for the Like Jennie chorus, and that's about it. But also that's the only part that I know. So that's cool. Melt up. I really like the dissension on the arms. Great range. They all have to kind of peripherally watch each other to make sure that works. We still have the speed changes happening. They pull through. Really cool. They drop it down. Now we have 3-part level. Gosh, it makes you so curious, doesn't it? They come up. Excuse me. Yeah, this whole production sounds like if you were to type in epic cinematic study music, this would pop up. I would love to hear this at like Eurovision. I don't know. I don't know the Eurovision space as much, so I may have sounded Jessica, you don't know what you're talking about. That's fine. I'm allowed my freedom of preference anyway, but this sounds so sick. Okay, so I love all the different levels on that, really nice. And then they go and create a nice structure of the two lines, and then she's hanging on the other side. They melt it back. I like the wave on that all the way through. Look like we have the fingers committed to it. We're gonna double check that though. Yeah, thank you. If you're gonna do a wave, making sure it finishes out exit waves through the fingers is what we love to see. I like that she has the arms boom boom. She commands the dancers through the hit on that. There's a nice accents on the track that help cater to that. Meltas are really nice. I love that. So now you have more of this fullness, these abstract arms, individual arms that helps match the beginning of those four dancers branching off from the structured ones. But that was more speed changed, meaning we were going slower. Here's a little bit more of a pulse kind of projection, meaning that we're pushing energy and slowing it down. I really like that. And then they bring it up. Come on, little moment here. And we melt it out. We're unpeeling off from the inside to outside, which is cool. We accent in, and then we pull the arms up. We trace it through. She gets to have her moment. Come on, Miss Ma'am. Speed change it again. Another pulse choice, meaning that we're going speed change, fast, slow. We love that dynamic. There's so much of that in this, which matches the track beautifully, regardless if it's original or if it's remixed. How the track sounds on stage, which is the charm of me looking at this without hearing the songs in the original format, is we can really isolate the movement that we're seeing to the track itself and not the what ifs on what it sounds like, right? I know that's the name of the song for like K-pop Demon Hunters, but I digress. Point being, I really like that we get to just focus on this when I don't have a lot of information going in, because there's a good chance a lot of people don't have a lot of the information fans would. So it kind of garners, I would say I have a more accurate, like, general public nuance on what this looks like compared to when I look at a marathon group at an award show, right? So I get to touch on different things, so that's the charm of it. It's cool. So the pull down is nice. I like the hop out of it is cool. And then we have the accent with the arms up. They plan it down. That bass is cool with the shoulders. And also you have the camera moving. This is also one of the few times where a moving camera actually is tasteful in how it pans from one section to another. Now with Alpha Drive 1 and their moving cam, because it looks like in a very similar warehouse room on the, I don't know, like in CJ Entertainment has these types of rooms, right? Excuse me. It was really nice to measure how accurate the camera work for broadcast looked to the dance practice space, and you could see their stuff better, but I already reviewed most of it, so it's a little different. Here it's like, this is all fresh for me, so I get to really focus on the dance. So I like the accent low to high. I will most likely look at the broadcast just because of how charming this is. Down to high, I love the accent with the head. We punch it out, come on, body roll, and I like the little salute from her. And then we double up the timing, and we look over to the side, rotate it around to the inside, we slide it, come on, partner moment, we slide it in, nice little moment, the trace down, so it definitely gives one of those, like, partnering, not sensual, but, like, intimate moments. And then you have basket runs. That is the only thing that would be an area of creative workshop opportunity for dealing with numbers and potential logistics that would go into this. It makes sense why basket runs, which is that what you see right there, the squatted run that you transition from one place to another discreetly, it gets used, and I think it was used pretty well here. Quite simply, it's a black room and everyone's in black, so it's a little bit easier to hide it here. So it is still something I'm going to hold the accountability to in the competition choreography world. So this isn't a competition routine, so they don't have to be held to this at all. But there is an oversaturation of this specific transition, and there's a reason for it, because I just said it's just a really quick way on getting from point A to point B without messing with the focal point. in competitions, that is a missed transition opportunity on the creative side. So if you're ever curious as to why in competition that can work against you, but in an award show it works, or it's definitely like a format that you're going to see more often, that's why. So I like from here, the lift, and they're hitting down, they drop down, come on, commitment to the lift. Also, her sunglasses are staying on. Are those, if that's her, what is it? Does she have a sunglasses brand or a glasses brand? Is Gentle Monster, is that like Jennie'S brand? I never know. Hold on, let me Google that. So glad I Googled. I was about to sound so silly. Jennie has strong affiliation to Gentle Monster. And that's where I heard it from, was from like seeing her wear the brand. So I'm telling you, people can be influential. They'll peel up, it's nice. They open it out, boom, boom. With some of the arms, adding and progressing the legs, where they do a little bedrock, which is the fold-in on the foot, and then I like the dropped level on that too. She flicks it low-high. She doesn't have to drop a level. If anything, that makes it a natural level change. Causes her to remain featured even though she's front and center on camera. They flick high and mid and low. So this choreography does look intentionally made for camera. But what's nice is there's so much quantity of people that it really helps with the saturation on. If I was watching it from a fixed cam, you'd be able to see a lot of this and it'd be really cool. Right, we punch it out, bring it to the inside, the double hit with the kick is nice, little jump, and using that to help with the with the window front. So she looks forward, they mirror it with the accent lean out, open it up, they're down on the ground, she has the arm through, different change in timbre, even though the epicness in how it like resolves, like it has such a full and far sound, where it just feels like you're taking up an entire land, and just how the land hears sound. I don't know, it's so cool. It definitely gives, like, when you're on a horse going to battle, like it's that, but the timbre, so how the sound exists in the space is shifted in pitch as well as intensity, which is cool. Also, we're dealing with a punch down. BPM is also changed. Dancers are now creating this tension. We open it up. I think it's okay. It's giving like a festival. Like these songs are like festival versions where you're like there with your, I don't know. I'm not in rave culture, but I would see all these LEDs in the back. Like these would all sound so freaking sick at a festival with those big CGI graphics that like have the really big lights. I don't know what they're called, but I hope you know what I'm talking about. It's just so cool. So they drop down. So now we're opening it up, and then this right here, this chug that we're having with this militant, like we're shielding ourselves, like we're going to battle. That's why a lot of these transitions like that I really like, because it associates in a way that how the sound resolves in my head. Personally, in association to when I watch media and I hear these types of tonal colors or these instruments and how they're framed, I associate them like that. So that's what's really cool about it. And the quantity really helps on the militant side, right? Cleanliness really helps too. Punch it low, 3, 4, and I really like that you have it going on in the back as well. It's cool. And now we have more dancers entering the chat. We punch it out, and I like the opposition of the levels on that. It's cool. Pull in, and we watch. Cool angles. Going in. She is now gone on the table, and we're running. For me, because basket runs are used so much, a simple run is going to be my preference. But that's just for me. And I watch thousands of dances a year, off screen and on screen in front of you guys. So that's why I'm like, there's certain things that I know I am overly saturated in compared to the average person. I know that. That's fine. And so I have my preferences, but I also know there is beauty in a basket run where there's clarity that helps in getting a certain look across in a big picture format, especially when you have logistics such as time, because that helps expedite cleanliness so much faster than trying to do something else, anything else. Cool. So we ran, we're here. We have the going down, and we open it up. Come on now. I like the heel, and then you have every other person folding out. What really works with this is the fact everybody's clean with the proper fold down. Looks like she's controlling them. That's cool. I like the crossover angle too. So we have like 1, 2, 3 columns in the front, but the every other prompts it to open into like a semi-column. And then you have a couple in the back, which is really sick. They go fold, fold, fold. It looks like 1, 2, outside and the back to inside. Hold on. Boom, boom. We have 4 in the back, 3 in the front. That's sick. Full back, just the inside front, and then the 2 outside front. That's cool. The fold down and we switch it, speed change, letting the head full move it, and also listen to the track. It looks like it drowns out or it slows down. That's really cool. It stalls out, and I like that on the speed change, on the movement there. And I like the clap. They go, they run it down, we come back up, they punch it, we regress it. Head swim is really nice. They open it, they fold it down. Ball change is cool. We hit it from one side to another. Nice little fold accent is nice. We slide it, and then the basket end. So you see what I'm talking about, that right there. We have a speed change, and we can see that. But if anything, it's contributing dynamically to creating some really nice levels in the transition, which is why I'm truly in the place of picking the battles. Like, we're picking our battles. I think that's fine. You still have Jennie living her life. Good chance the broadcast is showing this, but they're most likely still focusing a lot on her. So we're missing a lot of this on the broadcast, which is why I think I like the fact that I'm looking at the rehearsal first, because we really get to see the dance first. And they're all wearing more comfortable fits too, I bet you. So we go punch, punch, and then we rotate it from inside to outside. We have everybody there, and we knock it. So we're not in full unison yet. I don't think we've done full unison with everybody yet. And we're 2 minutes and 36 seconds in. So when we see unison, it's going to resonate differently than if you see unison in the very beginning. What is unison? It's when everybody does the exact same thing in the exact same timing. Whenever we encounter it here, I'll let you know what it is. So we bring it down, we come up. That right there, an example of that port de bras back, everybody doing it, that's a unison moment. And then you have Jennie moving down. They all hit it in the transition to get us into more consolidated clumped formations on both sides. It's still mirrored though. Good for them. They hit it through. Then we have a little port de bras. Now she's doing it with them too. This is unison. I like that. Oh, that's cool. And then we ripple it. Come on. And it's just that fire with the melt. And then we hit it. The little folds, and then we have it accented in, placing on the chest, fold it down. Like, this song is sick AF. I'm like, part of me's low-key hoping this isn't a remix. Like, this little bit, this is what the song sounds like. I want it on my Spotify. Like, it's sick. The little shoot, I like the basses on that. And I like the level drop there too. So we have it where it's leveled, where we have more of a lower level, so we travel it up, and then it regresses back to a lower level, so horseshoe formation. She's still in center here. She's the only one that's not dropped a level. She still has this like push and pull with her arms. It's cool. They walk it through. They rotate it around. Really nice. Really the one thing I can't attest to at all in these types of award shows or in these types of tracks is wordplay. We walk it. Very nice. Just a simple walk goes a long way, especially when part of the charm of the focal point of that moment was not just Jennie, but the spacing and getting to see everybody just take this formation and spread it out. Right? Come on now. We've dropped it down. Arms rotate all the way around nice and full. Open it through. The punch is nice. This is all unison. And so that was a really nice punch. She walks it forward. She's the only one not doing it. So it's really full. There's more content density, and our range is much more full. We're diving into the kinesphere, meaning that it's the area right outside, like past my fingertips. Like as we're scooping and existing and swinging the arms in that space, it makes the movement look more full because it is more full. There's more body getting involved in our choices. It's really nice. We drop it down, hit, boom, boom, on the syllables that she's hitting or on her words. I like the interruption of flow there with the arms. It's nice. We place it, bring it up. I like this arm scoop. Sorry, the arm. I'm going to call that like a lift. So as we take it and we send it around a few times, rotation, little toss downs, a little bit of the shoulder. I like that the shoulders in the back are getting involved because it makes it look more full. So the punches are nice. We swim it down. Nice accent here. Nice fullness on this. And we bring it up, swim it down, lift it, send it off to the side. We hit a ball change. She is taking her arms in matching range, meaning how long it takes to get from point A to point B of the move itself. They're matching as they lift up in their body. She's doing that with sitting and settling in the hip and the lifting of the arms. All that checks out to make it look like she's full on controlling them. Great intensity. They look forward. Boom, nice. And I like the arm across. And they melt it down. You have this and it looks like it's every other column. That's sick. And they melt it outside. Then that's just turned into a canon. What's a canon? It's a sequence of movements with different start and finish times. So an example would be my groups that started this first. As they went to move 2, the second groups, they went to the first move that we just saw. So that's a canon. And then they punch it. Now we join back into a unison. It's really fun. Come on now. We punch it in. We rotate those arms. From the elbow, we clap it down, bringing it up. I love the walks here, having everybody move. And I really think it is very tasteful how we're navigating. There's so much extra clarity that's in place on this type of performance because you see a clear separation between the ladies and the gentlemen, right? Where all the guys are still there and all the ladies are moving through the space, because that can help in whatever storyline, narrative, or concept that we want to showcase. Jennie being a natural focal point because she was the only lady amongst a sea of men. And then here, where you have the ladies join her, that can tell a completely different message of the guys getting left behind. Does that make sense? So I think that's cool. I like the accent up, down, and then we're about to move here. They basket run, and then we're hitting. And then we go chains on, so we go out, 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 out. And then we go to D, so that would be just a shake. Some people say that's a vibration. A vibration is way more refined than that. This is just a shake. Now, this feels like we may be dealing with the platforms, possibly. I don't know. Maybe not. Based on how full the movement is, this would look cool, but that would look cool as like a spiral platform, which you would see up front. So they're not there. So I'm just going to assume that we're not having that. That's what the broadcast is for. I love this because it's actually spiraled. So they take it around and they're going to see it get a little bit more and more. So I wonder what that looks like from the top. And we come out. Come on, little melts are really nice. She has a lot of controller position. Because she has so many dancers, it works really, really well for this type of idea. And the sound itself has a synthy controlling element to it when you think about it, a DJ, which goes back to my point of why this song sounds very like festival heavy, where a DJ can like give that impression that they're controlling the CGI like visual in the back and they're the one who projects the sound to the audience to be influenced. She kind of low-key gives that acting role. I don't know. I'm so curious what y'all's thoughts are. Because some of you may be like, oh my god, Jess, I completely agree. And some of you are like, I never got that not one time. You're silly. That's the beauty of the subjectiveness of art, right? It's cool. And I bet you costumes are going to tell a completely different story. This is just based off of what I'm seeing in all black fits, dance, in the song with a moving cam. This is all I got. So I like that we folded and rotated around. Come on, bringing it in. We created 1, 2, 3, and then we have a nice little weight shift. I've heard this, we've called this the shmoney, heard it called the outlaw, just depends. Either way, I really like how we have a continuation of our range here. In our arms, we knock it, we rotate it. Come on now. She goes 1, 2. So this is an add-on, really nice, and they toss it away. Slide it in, they bring it low to high, punch, punch, we melt it. The scoops are nice. So the repetitiveness on some of our choices was fun because it doesn't match like a typical timing and a predictable timing that you would see these moves done. Normally you would see a move done like this if you repeat it about 3 to 4 times. They only do it twice and then they move on to something else that has a similar nuance of range to it, which is cool. I like the sways on that is cool. And then they hit it, the punch it is really nice there. They scoop it out and they go base, base. And we go hit, punch, swim it down. She crosses, they build and build. They rotate all the way around, which is nice. Come on, speed, change. We knock it, rotate it. And then now we're on the floor. That crash gives a surrender sense when she lifts the arms up. I love the levels. Also note, we have the guys down on the ground. The ladies are up. We love it. Do you know what I mean? Like that can give an image of women rule and boys submit. Like it could be a mix of that. And then it could also be the opposite of like, I don't know. The sways are really cool. Great freaking range on the dancers who are standing because they are so low that they match where the guys who are swimming, where their level is. That is sick. No body. And then we melt it. Arm sways are cool. And then we take it in. I like her sway is nice. We open it there. The folds are nice. Nice crisp lines. We fold it up. We still have this type of familiarity from previous in the section. Then we ripple it down on the ground. We hit, and then we isolate it. And then we sway it inside to outside. So the visual is really cool because the focal point is, yes, we're doing unison, but the transition is spacing out like this. Nice. So we drop it down. I like the clap on that. The extra fullness on that is nice. So we open it. The clap is sick there. I love that. It just satisfies all of what the song is resonating with, and then you can see the movement satisfy that. It's cool. And then we have the switch off on the feet as we brush on the opposing shoulder. We have the columns here. Good opposition with the pulls. When you have it switched off. Note there, it's more of a mixed bag on men and women. Like, it's doesn't matter who it is because it's more so the every other visual compared to whether it's guys or girls on that. We're running. We've melted it. We've turned. Let's go. And now we face the back. That's cool. And we fold it in. This is cool. So if you're not where Jennie is, then they move inside and outside of that. They run with a nice reverb. Reverb means it goes from a loud movement to a soft movement. So it looks like that compared to a rebound, which goes equal energy as you go in and out. Right? Look at that reverb. God, that's sick. I love it. And it's different. And we hit it, and I like that we have this rigid direction change of surrender with the chest. And then we move out of the way. Then we go to the basket run transition. Notice we have some people moving backwards, forwards. Then you have two of our guys have a moment. They mirror it. And she's walking forward. She turns face in the back. Here we go. So I would say out of anything, this is probably the only section because we've already seen all of what we just did. Encounter, like all that was really cool, facing it all in the back with a change forward. It's all unison. The arm sways. Yes, we have different kind of content in play, different texture, meaning that we're exploring more legato smoothness, but also the intention is a little bit different. The porta bra is really nice. The lift is cool. Arm swings are cool. And we are in a little bit more spaced out. It's not as condensed and full in front of us. It's a little bit more shaped outward. It's still a heavy unison section that we've already been saturated in the previous section. So we melt it around. But also remember, that is just a straight up preference. And also it's like, takes like 20 seconds. And they melt it around. And then we have opposition. She gets to have her moment here. They melt it to the inside. It's still impressive. And then we punch it, and then we ripple it from outside to inside. And then we punch it, which is nice, and you have all your guys transitioning, punch and punch, punch. And then we all have our moment. They do a little walk back. It's cool. I bet you it's not this space, like, spread out. Like, I feel like we're getting such a pleasure, like, an ideal camera format to really see what's going on. I bet you I'm not going to be able to see it like this at broadcast. Meltdown is really cool. They melt it through. Running it back. They hit it. Great airtime there. So I like the subtlety of not moving very much there. And we move out of it. Arm swings are cool. We punch it forward. We get low. And we build it up. Low. Switch off on the wrist. I think it was this part. Yeah, I would say it's this part. That previous part I think was fine when we're here. This is the only section. And we bring it up. The folds are really nice. And then you have this little hingy switch off on the bevel is really nice. So like content wise, it's still fine. And then Militant is we rotate it and we slap it down. And then we go da 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 da. Where we have our shoulders get involved. We have more of a spread out leg on that. We rotate it through, looking to the front. And then we end up using a network to push it back. Now, note that I said network. Network is an Afro move. You just end up seeing a lot more Afro movement happen in like Jennie, so that's a nice transitional content that you see here. Even though like Jennie isn't showing up, we're already getting foreshadowed or getting familiarized with that movement before we even get entertained with the track. We kick it, we hinge it around, we pivot out of it, we rotate, which is also nice. We hit it and we knock it up. So like I said, that whole unison section, took 2, 3, 8 counts tops. That is just, for me, I understand my preferences. We're picking our battles. I think that still absolutely looks fine. And then we take it, we go, which is really nice. And we're like, oh no, come on, full-on sprint. I'll take a full-on sprint. And I love how everyone's like freaking out in a little moment. And then what's interesting is I wish I could see what's going on over here, but that's okay because we get the whole little section over here. Yep, they're like light, little party moment, very communal because we're all interacting with each other. We love it. Yep, that da 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 da. I like a little double hop out of that. It's cute. The slap is nice. Now this little walk here definitely gives catwalk energy that you would see in Vogue. Boom. Do I think they're voguing? No. That's just definitely something like you would see that in vogue. If you're curious about what street dance, you've seen that from. The walk back is fun. It's just a fun transition. Boom, and we melt it. Come on now. And some of us are choosing with the leg, some of the hip accent, and we melt it. New pose. The dancers are fatigued as all get out. Like, in the sense of the amount of ask that is happening and requiring here. Guys, like, this is a low-key 8 minutes sprint. Like, this is a sprint. The amount of dynamics that we're talking about, the content density it is, the running, the movement. This is not a small stage. They're doing a lot of it on, like, the mains. But all this through the end, they have to, like, run through on the extended stage. Like, that's a lot. So they gotta be prepped for this. They gotta be conditioned for it. And they gotta not look tired whatsoever. Good intensity as we walk, step. And then we turn out of it. Pull. Nice. I don't like the chest on that. Looks great. 6, 7, 8. Boom. And then we're all catering a little bit downstage to that stage left. Little hips are nice. We open it up one side to another. We rotate it through. She does a little trace down. They drop it low. And they have a little head knock down to the ground. And they hinge it all the way. A little flat moment there. They open it up. Nice little bleed. Tap, 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 tap. Little box step is nice. Come on, walk. And we do a little pivot with our shoulders. Really nice. We turn out of it, which is also fun. Travel and trace up. Arms bleed up. And they have a little moment with the walks. They look towards the respective direction they're going. And then they're moving. Come on now. Nice and full. Really nice on the melts. Are we going columns? I don't think so. It's still cool, though. That's so interesting. What formation is this? Okay, I'm going to assume we have... It's an inverted V to a degree with a space, right? And then we have a regular V, and then we have two people, one on each side over here that you see in between, that connects the two together. Such a fascinating formation. There's that special edition. This feels like a little special edition. What's the word? Goodness. Special edition version that we're watching. Not only that, she says special edition AI couldn't copy. And I really like how heavy the synth was in the first two songs, where it gave, you know, that type of automated influence, but I know it's not that. It's just cool. They hit it through with a rotation on that. We have the cruise in with the arm, like, and then we rotate it around, and we go hot tea. Like, there's like a hottie, and then there's like hot tea. Like, we spill in hot tea here. Little party moment, and then there's this chug. Now, we saw this chug a little bit earlier, but they had the shield on it, right? So I like that we have it reframed here. This feels like we got the like Jennie crew, like Jennie Weedham Boys crew. They're partying it. They're like, let's go. They open it, facing the outside. Good tension. Yep, and they rotate it. The marching militant side of it. Now this feels like the original. Want to rock with Jennie? And so I have seen this, because this, you cannot avoid it on your shorts whenever it was it, right? So I like the fold and fold, down this, down like Jennie. So I really like the rigidness on the shift of the torso. As you send the arms down, they open it up. And then we drop. We have some levels here, which is nice. Swim, swim, swim with the arms. And then we pick it up, and then I like that we have it nice and intentionally rigid in the torso as we lift and isolate with that leg. It's cool. And then we pick it, and I like to pull into it like Jennie, and they're picking it up like Jennie, and I like that we're building up the energy there. We get low. This is just as much energy output here like what we saw in the very beginning. It is 7 minutes in the freaking dance. Yes, there's cuts in this, but they had to do this mess in one go. That's how you have to practice it. Goodness gracious, this is a stamina challenge, so I like the little head, I like the build up, like we're doing a little Dougie out of it. It's fun, but it's not really like a full-on Dougie, but the intention of this pullback that you see in the torso is something that you see reflected in a Dougie. Then I like the toss around is also really nice, and you have this little Jennie let the head go on that second one, arm swing is nice, and then they pick it up, and then we have that little heel twist there. I've seen there was like a trend, the Hambuena, where they have that little heel twist with a similar upper body. Now they do that like a few times. It was such a fun trend to do, but they just do one there. So you see a little Afro influence where you would see like the Amapiano genre trend tracks, you'd see movement like this. So this is cool. The little pick up there with the head creates a really nice accent or punctuation near the tail end of something repetitive. It's cool. And then we have the little hips, and they hit it down accent to the pelvis on the guys, and she hits it over on the side of the hip. So I like the accent on it. So the shake on that, come on, full on commitment, 4, 5, they send it back, and I really like the hips, and I like the usage of the torso on it. It's cool. We're not being, overly rigid in a lot of our movement where you normally would see a legato or the wave-like intention in the torso, which helps you appreciate the rigidness when you do see it. So I like the contrast of dynamics in the torso specifically. Subtlety is really nice. Come on, knees. Really nice and full. They melt it down. Come on, 2 columns. And we are projecting and moving and grooving up to the extended stage. I love that we have Jennie moving nice and slow. She's not moving slow. She's not moving with the same amount of speed that they are, but I really like that she's I'm living my life. They're doing what they need to do. They're doing a little chasse out of that mosh pit. Then they pull it up. Like, we're not even a smeeze, but it's like, I really like that they're not just punching forward. I like that they face the inside for an accent to the outside. They're doing some shuffle steps. It's really cool. A little hit and hit from side to side is nice. Little DNA. And look, everybody else is there waiting. I love that surprise of where your dancers, like other dancers, are. So you have the lift up here. She's having her moment. And I like from there, they're taking it. And then instead of just still going straight, they're shifting and shaping around. So they're fully surrounding the outside of the stage. They drop it low. So then they convert it to that little basket run moment to finish getting to where they need to go. They go punch, punch, punch with a hinge. She has a little moment. And then you have other dancers coming from the back. And then they take it and then they have it cross where you have one line goes in front of another, but they're still creating a nice spherical element with it, or more of spiral. It's cool. And that's a really nice way to integrate the rest of your dancers. And that's also a really nice way of getting you transition to the turntable lift, which is what that is. You see it called that right there. Come on, moment here with the ladies. Then you have this, everyone has a little melty moment there. We want to rock with Jennie. It's like hit. Now, there's not a punctuation on like a bass on that. So this little brush works very well for that. It's cool. Hair down. So we tap close to the head. And then we have the arm a little bit more focal pointed because of the nails. We love that. You have like Jennie. And we have the little shimmy with the shoulders is cute. And you have that Jennie to the inside. Then you have the hips where they all get influenced by her hips on the bases. There's your pas de bourrée. We sway it down, rotate it around, and then we do it to both sides. And then we pull it up, boom. If I'm gonna take a guess on anything, we have this getting lifted. Maybe. The clap is nice. And I like that. That's also really cool. Have you ever met? And then you have the punch, 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 nice and full. Jennie. I like the little, we're pointing. Who are we pointing at? We're looking at everybody. Are you Jennie? No, she's Jennie. See, they're pointing. Nice little like existential crisis. And I love that that's a transition. And now you have everybody party harding to everybody in the audience. That's really cool. All the way down the extended stage as well. They toss it down to high. And the little pickups are nice. And then we have the hold. And then we bring it in to out. Hop it down. Punch and punch. This right here feels more like a turntable lift moment. Because everybody is more intentional with not moving past the tapes. So out of anything, I'm going to say this out of the two that I was calling. This is going to be where the lift is happening. It just feels right? Punch it up, and I like the hit, and it's unison too. So you have the lift to supplement for levels. That's why. Okay, punch down is also really nice. They hit it nice and full, hop it, and I really like the extra on that, the build up, travel it, and then, what is that? Are we sprinkling? What are we sprinkling there? I don't know. We're doing something. We have our hand, and then we're knocking with whatever with our other hand. It's really fun. We turn, we drop it down, and then we have the punches, and they all look to the inside. She's like, it's me. I'm Jennie. And I love the little bow out of that. Wow. This dance practice absolutely deserves the amount of viewership and interaction it has with it. And it makes so much sense. Because normally I don't get a ton of requests for groups that I haven't looked at, unless the routine itself is like, Jessica, we don't even care that you didn't marathon them, watch this right now. And this particular video was one of those things as of late. So I listened, we watched, I'm glad I did. Guys, this is a almost 50-minute review. There's a lot going on here, but I think all of it was really, really well done, and I'm excited to see the broadcast version. Like I said, that's gonna probably only stay on Patreon. You can go watch and enjoy it if you want to see me see what it looks like, and they'll just be a watch through. It won't be like a whole review like what we see here. I had a lot of fun with this, and if this is your first time watching me, hi, I'm Jess, and I do really extensive choreography reviews based on context and based on who the artist is and what styles we're dealing with, and I really liked this, and hopefully we got to grow together through hopeful discussion in the comments, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this particular performance yourself. You guys know me, I know you, I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.